back, guys. I'm Sync.
And I'm Echo.
And we are back once again playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we were able to confirm that the old boat keeper is actually Yanni Yogi, the bailiff from the DL6 incident 15 years ago. We got Edgeworth declared not guilty.
For this case.
But Edgeworth stepped in and declared his guilt in the DL6 incident, saying he shot his father.
Okay, let's do this.
So we get to defend him now. I'm sorry, Wright.
You couldn't confess after you were let out of the court?
I just wasted all your efforts. Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, pal. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective.
The thing about dreams is that sometimes they show us the past as the way we view it and not how
Right.
it actually occurred.
Right.
So that is also a possibility.
But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished.
That bullet hole in the window is mighty suspicious.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances.
Is it? I'm just like confirming the difference between killing and murder.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe there is a difference.
Killing is killing, yes.
Killing is not murder. Murder is not killing. They involve people dead, but I think there's a subtle difference or something like that. But I'm not quite sure what. Right. Let's just move on.
This is crazy. Just crazy.
Nick, what are you doing?
Huh?
Oh, I was just reading through the court records once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent.
What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it.
That means we have to find holes in Edgeworth's testimony.
He confessed in court. He confessed that he did it in court.
I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare.
What?
It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Then, I would like to resume our trial.
Then, I'll prove you're innocent.
Yeah.
Then I would like to resume our trial.
Yeah. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, through pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book.
Unconventional, my ass.
Yeah, I see. Does the defense have any objections?
I have all the objections. No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? What?
Very well.
Did Edgeworth actually tell him about his nightmares?
I don't think so.
I just feel like that's something that Edgeworth wouldn't talk to him about.
Well, Miles Edgeworth, take the stand. Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecuting attorney. Miles Edgeworth. 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth.
How the fuck did you come to that conclusion?
Is this correct?
He just admitted he killed his dad, but he didn't say mistakenly.
It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court.
I don't see. The only thing that's really prevalent in this is that he says is his dream. And so it's like, how can we trust this is a dream not fabricated by the by the traumatized mind of a child.
Sure.
And like if it's actually what happened, because dreams are tricky little things.
Yeah.
When Edward was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That would be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. Oh no, Maya.
The DL6 incident. That day, I'd gone over the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now, you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Pressing everything, because I'm not quite sure. Wait, what do I... Let me just see what I have.
Sure.
Okay. Oh yeah, I never actually officially look at that.
Taken from Gregory Edgeworth's heart, still bears clear ballistic markings.
That, I don't. Maybe it will if it was in the records room. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more it looks like that hole came from the outside and into the inside. The murder weapon was fired twice. Wait. They lost consciousness.
One bullet was found in the heart, in Gregory Edgeworth's heart. Go and read through the details of the case again.
Oh, wait.
So...
The air in elevator was oxygen depleted at the time of incident. No clue found on the scene. Defense attorney trapped in elevator returning from a lost trial with son Miles. One bullet found in the heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Age 9. Yogi Court bailiff trapped with the Edwards. Memory loss due to oxygen deprivation. After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins commits suicide.
Alright.
Air in the elevator was oxygen depleted at the time of the incident. Murder weapon was fired twice. That's the thing that always get me. Because no one fired it. And the gun wasn't shot until he drew the bullet. Or he drew the gun. So where did the other one come from?
And where'd it go?
Yeah, where did it go? That's something we will never find because that's from 15 years ago. We only have the bullet from Edward's father's heart, which it looks like the same bullet actually. This one, it looks almost like the same bullet. It was from a pistol, so I'm assuming it could be like the predecessor to this gun. Because 15 years ago, and there's no way they're using that same gun today. Just saying. Okay. What was that trial your father was involved in on that day?
I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I knew my father lost, and Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney.
Oh. Oh!
Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details.
That was when Edward pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. So, there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator?
Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed, and no one came to help, my father and Mr. Yanni Yogi lost composure and began to argue.
What did you do then?
I was 9 years old. I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then, just when something fell, I have it at my feet.
What was it?
A pistol. I assumed it was the bailiff's, the Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster.
But, because in the flashback, he was like across the elevator space from them. For it to fall that far is very fishy.
And you picked it up. What happened next?
Did you know it was a pistol when you drew it?
I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze.
So, okay, this is 15 years ago and I have absolutely no idea how good criminal cases were. He grabbed the pistol and he drew it. As a 9-year-old boy with no gloves and anything, his handprint should have been on the gun, and it would clearly be his. Because he was a 9-year-old boy, the fingerprints would be smaller than an adult.
Right, yeah.
Why would the police not catch that? That would have been submitted as evidence.
True. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream.
The gun fired once?
Sorry. Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot, and that horrible scream.
Now the question is who screamed? The scream.
It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day.
To this day?
Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I will ever forget that scream as long as I live.
Hey, Von Karma, scream for me. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence, but I don't know what it means. I better find out and quick.
And that's the looping text. So, yeah, there's a pretty big part of his testimony that contradicts what the evidence says.
Terrible scream?
It's not the scream. That was just the looping text that Phoenix says.
The single gunshot is the same thing, isn't it? Wait. Checking. 2 fired twice. If he really did lose consciousness at that time, it's hard to say what really happened, but
sure.
we can't ignore one thing. The murder weapon was fired twice. If the gun did shot when he drew that gun, which is amazing because even with safety off, then what would happen to the other one? That was clearly not Edward who got the other one to fire. Plus, he drew it, so it couldn't be him.
Right.
Who fired the second one? Victim data. Are you sure you only heard one gunshot?
Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see.
But that doesn't make sense. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts this witness testimony.
You enjoy dragging out that file, don't you?
Karma, are you dumb as fuck? This is now relevant to everything now.
I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Bullshit! This is the most prominent, like, this is a game thing that I can come up with. Like, you can't, this isn't evidence unless you tell me what page it's on.
This is the thing, it's like, I don't believe you unless you pointed to me in this textbook what page it was on.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's one thing to point on stuff on a map. I feel like this is a little bit weird. This felt a little forced.
I also think that now that he's admitting to an incident that's 15 years ago and we're pulling out the file from that incident 15 years ago,
totally
it's
relevant.
very relevant.
Yeah.
So
All
you
right.
can't not accept the evidence.
Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony?
The only one we haven't done, the victim data. Look at the victim data in this file. It says it quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot?
Was there perhaps another shooter who fired the second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. Evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There's no proof the second shot has anything to do with this incident.
What?
I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we have heard. One of the shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof that the other shot was fired the other shot has something to do with the case?
We don't. But you know, at this point, we don't have anything. Yes! The gun is the same, right? Look at that bullet. It looks exactly the same as the one as our bullet. Which is coincidence. And let's not forget, this is the murder weapon. This was sent to, what's his face? To Yogi. By Von Karma. As we have found out via Von Karma. So Von Karma owned this pistol. But there's still no proof that the second shot. Fuck, man. We don't have any proof because he took it all. He took it all, the son of a bitch, because Venus couldn't keep his fucking mouth shut. Idiot.
Well, do we have anything else that might prove that a second shot was fired?
Hang on. The picture. If one got to the heart, what about that other one on the window?
Indeed.
Because we extracted the bullet from the heart, it couldn't have gone out of his body and through the window. Also, that still looked like it came from the outside in, but whatever. It could. I would take inside out, but it proves something. Yes. Your Honor, I think I will be able to show you proof.
What? Impossible! Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is indeed related to the incident?
The 06 photo? Take that. Look at this photograph.
I won't say it again. This is the photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim is lying there is Gregory Edgeworth.
This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it.
So let me get this straight. This photo proves Proves 2 shots were fired. Where?
Your Honor, please get a clue.
Show the judge the proof of the second shot.
Bam! As should be obvious, the contradiction is here.
I see. A bullet hole in the door.
Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edward fired that second shot.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, where are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rung out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, but who could that be? Who could that someone be?
The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand.
Well, you can't say wild fantasies, not that we see that there's an extra bullet hole somewhere.
Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary. That's on page 1. Look at what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point.
Okay, if it did happen that this elevator had a crack and hole in it, that elevator could not be in use. They would have to shut it down. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in an elevator where there's a hole in it.
That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist.
But why? Then what is that hole in the window? Please tell me.
The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in that door.
Yes.
Another bullet.
Another gun. What?
Alright, well let's...
You're telling me in a courthouse, someone decided to fire their gun in it. Is that what you're telling me? 15 years ago, someone fired a gun in the courthouse.
Order! I will have order!
I don't care what you say, Von Karma. Someone will clearly remember when there is a gun fired in the courthouse. And this is like not in an emergency state, like after an earthquake. Someone will remember that.
Yeah.
So there would have been an incident and it would have been recorded.
Mr. Wright has proven one thing quite clearly. That the murder weapon was fired twice at the scene of the crime. Scene of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found.
Say the first one went out the window and they were stuck in the elevator. Could it be in the bottom of the elevator shaft?
It's highly unlikely the police merely overlooked the second bullet.
Did they go to the bottom of the elevator shaft?
So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom on this matter.
Of course you do. Otherwise you'll call him a fucking idiot. How did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Well, obviously it exists.
It exists. I don't believe that the second bullet doesn't exist, yeah.
Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No! But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edward declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could have been that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick.
Well, it seems we have finally cleared up this incident.
Objection.
Yeah.
Or the other member right there.
Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So, you killed your father, though it was not your intention. Yes, I did.
Oh no. He's confessing.
Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce my verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There are so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Mr. Wright?
I have all the objection. What are you talking about? Let me look. Second bullet. Metal detector! We have a metal detector. Oh my god. To the bottom of the elevator shaft.
There's a lot of metal there.
I'm just saying. If something else happened to make that hole in the elevator, that means that some idiot fired a gun in the courthouse.
I'll tell you that did not happen.
And that did not happen to anyone. People would have been like straight up in the news, man.
Yeah.
Open fire at the courthouse?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just be like... Also, if that happened any time before this case, this elevator shouldn't be operating.
Yeah.
They would be fixing that
Right.
window. So that window wouldn't have a hole in it if they fix it before or after. If it's after the court case, this incident, this elevator would be broken or would be out of order. If it was before then, that bullet hole shouldn't exist. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there are...
We have a metal detector. Oh, the elevator shaft is very metallic.
And there's nothing to do with the elevator shaft.
Varn Karma has the other bullet. Right? Let me just use this thing right here on Karma, please. I mean, I have nothing else to lose, Judge. We already talked to the parrot.
We have an objection.
I always have an objection.
Yes, always object.
Your Honor, I object.
Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object,
Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect.
It's not.
It's not, due to the fact that everyone was oxygen deprived and fell unconscious. I mean, I know that's like doubtful and all, but this is a thing that happened. They all lost consciousness because of oxygen deprivation.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into account. Like anything could have happened between the time Edward fell unconscious and they woke up.
Yeah.
Oh no! Ugh. It must exist. Second bullet. What? What did you say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist? But where? Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce any answers from Mr. Wright.
I think Mr. Wright has hung around Miss Faye long enough to absorb some of her spiritual power. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it exists.
What? We just heard proof that doesn't exist.
I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took him to the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
Duel. The murderer? And tell us, who is this murderer?
We're looking straight at him. I'm still thinking about that one. Why did you tell him that?
So the criminal took the second bullet. Why would he?
To conceal the crime. Huh?
First of all, how would he have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for the bullet?
Yes. Because if there's two, bullets that's found, or it's to hide that the second bullet was fired that day on that incident.
Mm-hmm.
So the murderer had to get one bullet in. To just have that one bullet and be yeah, only one bullet was fired that time. The gun just happened to be missing two bullets, you know? One of them was on that case, and the other could be anywhere else, you know? So they had to find it. Of course there was a need. That's why he took it.
Bah! What possible reason could he have had?
Well, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene with him is the bullet would be proof. Or the murderer was cautious. Well, it's kind of both actually. Cause the bullet is proof, so the murderer had to be cautious of that. But our strongest thing is it would be proof. Because the murderer was cautious. How the fuck would we know that? The bullet will be proof, that's why. It's evidence. Maybe he thought that the bullet would be used as proof.
Proof?
It was a special bullet that he took, so he took it with him.
If that were the case, then he would have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well.
Phoenix, you're not on with me!
Huh? Why would he only take one of the two shots he fired?
Oh, right.
Mr. Wright, have you really thought this through?
Mr. Wright hasn't, but I did!
I'm going to have to penalize you.
This is going so well. Because, Phoenix, you and I clearly don't think really good together. What I want you to say doesn't match what you're going to say. And I can't deal with you, Phoenix.
Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet?
I still feel like there was a need. Now I would think about it. Cause maybe it was on the floor? I can't tell it make it all the way through. Cause if it was really just stuck in the elevator window or on the floor, cause it doesn't look like it made it all the way through. But how the heck could I tell? Because at the angle they took the shot,
it's not this photo. It's not in this photo.
It's not in the photo.
No.
Now it makes me wonder if he's gonna say the same thing if I said he had to be cautious. Because Phoenix and I don't think alike at all. And this is proven to be from the same murder weapon. I guess. One of my possessions. someone took it. I still feel like someone could have taken it. Someone could have taken the bullet. Someone took the bullet because they didn't want, because they just wanted one bullet in this scene crime. But it's true that the fucking bullet could have been used as proof. You know, if you wanted like someone to like get accounted for a murder, right? Then you want the one bullet in their heart to be like the only proof. If there was another bullet, then I feel like in this case they just took it as victory. They just took the other bullet as victory. Like, I fucking killed Edward, Gregory Edward. I still feel like the murderer had to find it. Or maybe it was on the floor and he didn't have to find it, search for it, but he just found it on the floor. But I can't tell from that photo. It doesn't look like it went through all the way, but it doesn't look like it didn't go through all the way through the window. The glass window. You know what? Why the fuck not? Let's just go to the other option.
Okay.
Fuck it.
I'm staying silent on this one.
But that one makes no sense either if the murderer was cautious. Okay, if we're thinking 15 years ago. If this was Yogi, who is the suspect, this will make sense. But we're thinking now Edward as we're thinking Edward as the suspect. This will make no sense. Because it's not like the murderer is actually gonna be like, let's frame it. On the boys, on the father, on the person's son. Ha ha ha. What kind of planning is this? 15 years in the future? So I feel like he didn't have to search. I feel like the search, like that's the key word. If he didn't search for it, he found it on the floor and he took it. But in this way, the reason the murderer took the bullet away from the scene of the crime was because he fucking took the fucking bullet. Like, what the hell? Like, he would take the bullet for a reason, because the bullet's gone. But I don't think he searched for it. I think it might have still been in the elevator. Because there's no elaborate planning for, or maybe there is. Maybe there is elaborate planning because freaking Von Karma sent the guy the fucking letter and everything. Being like, revenge, you can take it. Like, seriously. Maybe Von Karma really did elaborately plan for this 15 years later, coincidentally, for Edward to get framed for his father's death. But the question is, how the fuck would he know Edward drew the gun? Unless he was there as well, JK. I think it's proven Von Karma was not in the elevator when that happened.
He was not in the elevator.
Nope.
He was not in the elevator.
Not in the elevator, but in the building.
Yeah, he was in the building, obviously, yeah.
I think he had somehow broken into the elevator and shot or something, because the whole they all felt unconscious kind of gets to me. They all felt unconscious because of oxygen deprivation, but there's 2 bullets missing, and there's a bullet hole in the window of the elevator. That means there has to be a second shot. No one would keep that elevator operating if they weren't like fire that same incident, that time frame. I don't know if
you're stuck in this now, so.
Oh gosh, I'm actually stuck with this. Okay.
Yeah, you can't go back. You can't backtrack.
There's no going back. Let's just fucking do it. Oh well, the murderer was a very cautious sort, you see. That's why the murderer had to search for that bullet.
If that were the case, then he would have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well.
Huh?
Why would he only take one of the 2 shots fired? Oh.
Oh, right. I think the problem with this was search for the bullet.
Yeah.
He didn't have to search for the bullet because it was already on the floor. Maybe.
Maybe.
Possible. Because we can't tell.
Mhm.
Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue.
What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Bah! The murderer has no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true.
But you can't disprove the fact that there is a bullet hole in the window in that elevator.
Yes,
No one would keep the elevator operating. Had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer. What does that mean? You're thinking too normal, think crazy. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what voice to give her because I haven't voiced it. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take that bullet.
Had to? Mr. Wright, what do you mean?
Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer? Oh.